Hello all, it's your girl Tiffany, Madam Luscious Black Beauty, your poetic psychic Pisces High Priestess, aka the light that shines like a diamond, also known as your modern day nun, one whom isn't within a coven, a convent, or a covenant. I do thank you all for listening and for watching on tonight. If you would be so kind, so please like, share, and subscribe. It would be greatly, greatly appreciated. This is going to be a general reading for the overall collective of any zodiac sign, so please take the messages that apply, leave the ones that do not. And without any further ado, guys, we are going to get into tonight's reading. Okay. Or actually, guys, let me rephrase. Okay. I'm so used to doing general readings for you all. This reading, in fact, is pretty specific and it's not at all general. Okay. This is actually going to be another one of my missing mystery segments. Okay. So it is for a specific person that I'm doing a reading for. Of course, this missing persons is actually on the FBI missing persons list. And I was really drawn to this person because it's like no coincidence. I was drawn to it for multiple different reasons. But as with my introduction, as you all know, I say that I am, a modern day nun. I have a connection to nuns from a communal living past life in which I have a connection to from several past lives ago. So nuns are really near and dear to my heart for various different reasons. And it's because I specifically, matter of factly, know that nuns, well, it's on a different level than what most expect. Most people who speak of nuns, you would think, oh, the automatic religious aspect to nuns and different things like that. It actually goes much deeper than that because I'm actually, in fact, more spiritual, but I actually have certain connection to them. Okay, but it's for a specific reason. It's within my life purpose within this life to expose the abuses that nuns endure. Okay, and it's no coincidence that on tonight's missing mystery is in fact about a nun. Okay. So I just wanted to get my sage lit, guys, and going because this is like kind of heavy on what we're going to be talking about on tonight. Okay, so tonight's missing mystery is for Sister SuEllen Theresa Tennyson. Okay, Sister SuEllen Tennyson. Okay. And I like to give you all an image of how the missing person looked at the time of their disappearance here. As you can see, it is here on the FBI's website. Okay. So, with a lot of my missing mysteries, I gather my information through several different methods. Okay, I do what I call I first of all research all of the available information that is given about the missing person. And then I do what I call a spirit reading, where I specifically ask my spirit guides direct questions pertaining to the missing person. Okay, and then I pull tarot from several different decks. Okay, and there's a process of specific different ways in which I get information. Y'all may hear me clear my throat a lot in this reading because somebody don't want me to speak the truth. about this. And it's quite interesting that I actually, in fact, was going to do a missing mystery about another young lady. And it's interesting because I started looking into it, getting ready to work on it on yesterday. And y'all know I'm a targeted individual. They listen to and watch everything that I do. So it's no coincidence that as of today, they miraculously found this person. um, and it's interesting because the information that I came up with, they literally spake to that information. I knew she had fell. I knew she had hit her head. I felt that automatically. I knew that she was in the water, and that's as far as I got into it. I actually didn't get to working on it. I was reviewing and researching the overall information, and I was going to get started on it today. And lo and behold, it came to my news feed. All of a sudden, she popped up, and I was getting ready to work on it, and I happened to look down at the phone, and this news feed, breaking news, pops up, and they find this person, supposedly in her vehicle, submerged under 14 feet of water. So I said, okay. They stole this one from me, and wanted to come out with some information about it in a hurry before I could do the reading. But it's no coincidence that they decided to, come out with the information, and I was literally getting ready to do, the reading for her. But now all of a sudden she has been found. Okay, so then I decided that, okay, I'm going to work on something else. Okay, so then I was led to Sister SuEllen Theresa Tennyson. Okay, so the information is as follows. Her name, like I said, is Sister SuEllen Theresa Tennyson. Okay, she's been missing since April 4th of 2022. She's from YALGO, Burkina Faso, I believe it's pronounced. Her date of birth is December 21st of 1938. She is a Sagittarius, which is her zodiac sign. Her hair is brown and gray. Her height was 5'9". At the time of her disappearance, she weighed approximately 160 pounds. She is female. Her race is white and or Caucasian, whichever you prefer. Her occupation is a Catholic sister nun at Marinites Holy Cross Church. Her nationality is American. Scars and marks that she have on her body is a red spot that is on her right cheek. Remarks. Sister SuEllen Tennyson may potentially be located in Burkina Faso, Mali, or Niger. She is reportedly nearly blind in her left eye due to cataracts and may be wearing glasses. Details. Sister SuEllen Tennyson is an American citizen and nun living and working in Burkina Faso. She was abducted by armed gunmen in YALGO, Burkina Faso on April 4th of 2022. So automatically I'm like, who in the hell abducts a senior citizen at gunpoint? Then I'm like, who in the hell abducts a nun at gunpoint? So, we clearly know foul play is involved with that information, and this information can be found, is not assumed, suggested, imagined. This is information that is on the FBI's website. So, my intuitive notes are as follows. I know foul play is involved. I know that she is and or was a sacrifice for a specific reason, which means that she was abducted for a specific purpose, which mean I automatically knew that she was no longer alive. Thus is why I know that she was a sacrifice. Okay, so while looking over this information, I immediately picked up my first deck of tarot cards, and I got the whole story out of my first deck. I literally did not have to do anything else. Okay, I matter of factly know that Sister SuEllen Tennyson received a message about a death of a family member. As well did she receive a message and information pertaining to an inheritance that was left to her. I matter of factly know that Sister SuEllen abduction was a setup for the purposes of money in an effort to steal her money and the inheritance that was left to her. I matter of factly know that Sister SuEllen was trafficked and murdered, and that a priest is involved in what happened to her. Okay, so as I already stated, you guys, I did do a spirit reading for Sister SuEllen, okay, which is as follows. I also pulled several different decks, from my own personal decks to 2 separate tarot decks and 2 separate oracle decks. Okay, if I need to pull any other information, I will do so at some point in time throughout this reading. Again, this is Sister SuEllen. Okay, so I'm going to start off with the main reading I got. Okay, I got a lot of other information besides what went on with Sister SuEllen. Okay, that I really wasn't surprised by, but it is a major factor in what led up to her disappearance. Okay, somebody don't want me to get this out, okay? And it's more than likely the powers that be. It's more than likely the Catholic Church, but I don't much care. So let's get it. So from the first tarot deck here, we have the Hierophant, okay? Any reader would tell you that a Hierophant is someone who is in power, but a Hierophant is the one who also oversees others, okay? Teach others, guide others, is a guidance for others, or something. And as you can see, if y'all can y'all see that? Okay, you see this person here. This is a priest, and he's standing inside of a church here. So more often than not, a Hierophant is going to be someone who's a pastor, who's a priest, who's an ordained minister, someone with some type of leadership position in a church. But a Hierophant can also be any other person who helps, heals, guides, or teaches others, like a counselor, a teacher, a motivational speaker, a psychic, a therapist, a doctor, a lawyer, like anybody in a position like that. Okay, so we matter of factly know, like automatically, the priest comes out here. We have the Seven of Swords. Now, the Seven of Swords lets us know that there is lying, cheating, stealing, manipulation, control, sneaking, creeping, trying to get away with something when the Seven of Swords appears here, okay? This lets us know, these 2 cards lets us know that there is a priest who is involved with lying, cheating, and stealing, okay? Which is a major factor in what happened to Sister SuEllen. Sister SuEllen's abduction at gunpoint, a senior citizen nun, was all set up, arranged, organized, planned by the priest of her church, whose main motive was to get away with stealing something from Sister SuEllen. Sister SuEllen, Temperance here, angelic being, pure, honest, decent, clean, one with the Most High, one with the divine, one who had sacrificed herself in her own life to be married unto God. And this is what was done to her, to a sword. A decision was made. The wrong decision was made. Someone went to that crossroad and made a deal with the devil. Their pact with the devil is what ultimately enabled them to make the wrong decision, to set up, to work against, to sabotage, to ruin, to end the life of Sister SuEllen. Why? For the purposes of money here. Now, the Eight of Coins speaks to finances, money, and resources. But the Eight of Coins also speaks to the money one makes from work that they do. Okay? And we all know that Sister SuEllen was working for the church, working as a shepherd for the Most High God in the Catholic Church. Okay? She actually had a specific role, job within the church in which she was paid. Okay? So we have judgment here. Judgment sits under the Hierophant. What is judgment? Judgment talks about, again, one making a judgment about something, coming to a conclusion or a decision pertaining to something. This sits right up under the Hierophant. So this lets us know that someone of higher authority, higher power, higher privilege, higher influence made a judgment, made a decision to what? This is death. This is the death card. I know these cards may be a little hard to see because of the lighting and here. But the death card sits under the Seven of Swords. A judgment, a decision was made by this Hierophant, by this priest. A conclusion was made that we must kill Sister SuEllen in order to get away with stealing something from her. Why did her death, or why was this judgment made? Why was this death made? What were they trying to steal from her? A gift that was left to her. The Six of Coins talks about a gift. It talks about giving and receiving. If someone gives you something, someone is gifting you something. Sister SuEllen had received information, notification, message, news, information that a gift of an inheritance was left to her. And the priest made a judgment, made a decision that they were going to steal this from her. And the only way to do so was to bring a death, an end, a completion to Sister SuEllen. What motivated this decision? None other than the devil. Individuals who are chained to the devil, who are sold out to Lucifer itself. Individuals who are sold out to the satanic powers that be, fake, phony, fraudulent Christians who play pretend like they stand for the Almighty Most High God. Individuals who proclaim to be saved, sanctified, delivered. Men and women of the cloth. Righteous, upstanding pillars of the community are actually, in fact, shepherds for the devil. Individuals with addictive patterns of behavior, habits, addictions, chains, bondages, and ties to the devil. You see, they are under contract. They have taken sacred oaths not to serve and protect, not to serve the Almighty Most High God, the Creator, the Alpha and the Omega, but none other than the devil itself. That's the reason why. That was the leverage. That is what enabled the priest to make this decision. Because you see, the priest serves the devil. So we have here the Five of Cups. The Five of Cups talks about sadness, loss, disappointment. It could even speak to heartache, heartbreak in the situation. But when there is sadness and there is loss to a situation, with everything else we see here, especially when you have the Death card in the same row of this, we know that this sadness and this loss is pertaining to a death, an ending, a completion of something or someone. And so we take a look at the bottom of the deck here. This inheritance that was left for Sister SuEllen would have made her very wealthy. Would have put her in a position of power financially. And this is when plots and plans and schemes began to be set behind the scenes, behind closed doors, behind these pillars, in darkness under the moon, with the moon being here. Secret things, hidden things being done behind the scenes. For what? This 10 of coins here. This large windfall of money. So someone foolishly decided to take the leap of faith and move forward with the chariot here. The fool in the chariot is here. They decided to foolishly take that leap of faith, take that chance to move forward and have Sister SuEllen abducted and trafficked. For what? The Ace of Coins here. This large lump sum of money. Do you see how this is all about money? We got the Queen of Pentacles here. The 10 of Pentacles here. The Ace of Pentacles here. And in between all of those pentacles, you have the Moon, the Fool, and the Chariot. Secret hidden things was being done and set up behind the scenes. And one could allegedly say at the orders of the Queen, for them to take a leap of faith and decide to move forward to have Sister SuEllen abducted and trafficked in an effort to take this money from her. Spirit say that this is truth. Spirit say it's clarity with the Ace of Swords sitting here. Don't you see that moon there? All these secret hidden things, criminal activity and things going on behind the scenes. This is the truth. This is clarity of what I'm telling you. And this, them bringing a death and end to Sister SuEllen, made their hopes, wishes, and dreams come true with the 9 of Cups that sits in behind that. I ain't got no reason to make it up. I don't have no reason to make it up. But I will say allegedly if it makes you feel better. This is the truth. There's really no need in me saying allegedly because this is the truth. And even those in the know I am speaking the truth. You're beyond pathetic, evil, wicked for killing a nun who sacrificed herself and gave her life unto God. And you snuff out her life for money. You're sick, you're decrepit, evil, wicked is an understatement for in fact what y'all are. Yeah, I said it. And I meant it. And I don't much care how you feel about it. Let's take it further. My deck. The Tower. The Tower speaks to a sudden upheaval. A sudden shake up of things. What could be more sudden than one being snatched up and grabbed by armed gunmen, thrown in a vehicle and abducted? That seems pretty damn sudden to me. But the Tower speaks of problems of any kind: murder, harm, death, deception, destructions, chaos, tragedy, illness, injuries, lies, deceptions, disruptions, tragic news, tragic information, murder, death, harm, and destruction, as I said. This is what the Almighty Priest made a judgment on, decided to do to Sister SuEllen. Why? I told you that the priest is chained to the devil. We got the devil here. That's the reason why this tragic situation happened. The devil. Spirit says evil is as evil does. We're talking about wicked satanic cults. We're talking about witch covens, devil worshippers, witches, warlocks, and demons. Oh my. We're talking about elite satanic powers that be: black magic, voodoo, hexes, curses, and spells, secret societies, and satanic sellouts is what we're talking about. See, the devil. See, the devil get far too much credit in this world. But see, it is the devil need a vessel. So it is the devil who works through people who want to do devilish, evil, wicked things for their own ill will, for their own benefit. And so they wanted to get away with lying, with cheating, with stealing, with the manipulation and the control of Sister SuEllen, and get away with her death and stealing what was rightfully hers. And so they were invoked by the devil, enthused by the devil, possessed by the devil, who enabled them to cause this heartache and this pain, this sorrow, this betrayal, this loss, this disappointment, this misery, this pain, this heartache, this heartbreak to Sister SuEllen. Three of Swords sitting here up under the Temperance and the Six of Coins. Sister SuEllen's energy here. She faced sadness, pain, anguish, anger, betrayal, sorrow, misery, disappointment, loss, because of sick, twisted, mind-controlled devil worshipers and what they saw fit to do unto her. So up under the Two of Swords and the devil in this deck here, we have the moon. Yet again, the moon talks about criminal activity. It talks about hidden things. It talks about sneaky, freaky, creepy things. It talks about darkness, what's done in the night. It talks about witchery, rituals, and secrets. It talks about what's done in the dark, what's done behind the scenes, what's secret, what's hidden from the naked eye. This decision was made by some selfish, greedy, materialistic, money-hungry gold diggers, hidden by the cloths of the church. We have here partners in crime. This tragedy and the demonically possessed individuals chained to the devil. This priest did not work alone. This priest was a partner in this overall crime of what happened to Sister SuEllen. You see, because we have here, they hate you. They worked against you. They set you up. They targeted you, betrayed you, sabotaged you, was disloyal unto you, and had the nerve to take out an insurance policy on you. So not only did they snuff out the life of Sister SuEllen, not only did they steal something that was rightfully hers, they also, the church, had an insurance policy on her that they then collected on after her abduction. You see, this thing is all about money. And see, Sister SuEllen, she was a hermit. She was closed off from the world. Quite naturally, you see how she's clothed. This person is clothed in these robes here, but have this light, allowing their light to shine. This is a nun. She was a nun. She was closed off from the world. She was no bother to anyone. She was to herself. She was by herself. A lonely loner, one may call her. And she was targeted. But Sister SuEllen's spirit say was a light worker. She was continuously in deep thought. She did a lot of study and a lot of research. She was a free thinker, even though she was segregated and isolated from this worldly world in which we live. She's highly intuitive, yet she was friendless. Sister SuEllen was no nonsense. Yet, in the life in which she chose, she was without family. And you know what it's like to have family but not have family, especially when you have decided to sacrifice oneself and your life for the Most High. Sister SuEllen had no love. Love was in Sister SuEllen's heart, but she did not have the love of none other. Yet Sister SuEllen unto God was seen as a star. Someone who was bright. Okay? So, we know what went on. We know why it went on. We know why this occurred, why this happened. This thing is going to get even more sinister. And this goes into what I have spake to you all about before, about the abuses that nuns endure. It's something that is hidden very well. Because you see, the life of a nun is hidden behind the walls of the church and the convent in which they belong to. So let's break this down. We have here messenger. Do you see that? You know how nuns are normally dressed in black and white? That's Sister SuEllen. This is the messenger. A messenger came to her. So this could have been a letter. She could have received a letter or some other form of communication. But a messenger came to her nonetheless. These messages were to make her aware that someone in her family, someone whom she was once close to, had passed away. This is what the message was that Sister SuEllen received. When she received this message about this family member's death, it also came with the information that this person had had a will or an insurance policy or inheritance that was left to her. And you see, this wasn't any old family member. This was, I believe, I want to say an ex-lover of hers. Like before she became a nun. This would have been like the ex-husband of hers. Okay? Before she became a nun. This is when the plans were put in motion to have her trafficked with the merchant here. The merchant talks about a person or a company dealing with foreign countries, wholesale, trade. Now, when you're speaking of people and the merchant comes up, it is matter-of-factly human trafficking that is going on. When Sister SuEllen got this message about this person's death and about the fact that she was left an inheritance and abundance of money from this person, the plan was put in motion to traffic her by the enemy. Who is the enemy, you say? The priest. Didn't I tell you that the priest of her church was involved? I can't make it up. I don't know these people from Adam. I have no reason to come on here and fabricate anything for you all. What was this messenger? What was the other reason that this messenger came to Sister SuEllen about a gift? Did I say it was about this person's death and about a gift that was left to her? That's what these messages were about, y'all. Why? Because somebody from her past had been in the hospital, hadn't seen a doctor, or hadn't passed away. Nevertheless, this person hadn't passed away. We have sorrow here. This left Sister SuEllen was in sorrow by this, saddened by this. She was also in sorrow and saddened by the fact of how she was set up thereafter. Because she was abducted at gunpoint to be trafficked. She was abducted and trafficked. This put her in sorrow. Do you see this woman's clothes? Her clothes was ripped off of her as she was taken. Why? Why did the enemy want to traffic, want to take Sister SuEllen money? Didn't I tell you this was for money? Huh? The enemy wanted to take her money that was left from her. Who we already have figured out who the enemy was. That was this priest of her church who was trying to do what? Steal what was rightfully hers. Thief. He's the one who set her up. He's the one who set the whole thing up to steal her money, and in an effort to steal her money, he is the enemy who had her abducted. I can't make it up. Okay. So, once again, guys, at the bottom of the deck, of this deck here, we have servant. Once again, you see the black and white, just like the nuns wear. Just like how you seen the Hierophant, or excuse me, the Hermit here. And just like I showed you, in this deck here, when she was standing in the door when the messenger came here, okay? This lets me know, well, a nun is clearly a servant, okay? On many different levels, okay, because of the dedication that they make, the oath that they make unto God, okay, to serve in the position that they are. But this was more than a servant of God. okay, or to the church, okay, because there was abuse that was happening, which I've spake to you all about before, that nuns all over this world endure, and it gets hushed up and nobody knows about it, nobody hears about it, because most people really even think about nuns or even care about the life of a nun, except for maybe people who attend Catholic churches, okay. But even so, they only think of them in a sense of seeing them in service, when they're at church. Other than that, they may not have much thought about a nun. But these nuns are often abused in various different ways, and it's hidden. They're abused in the name of God, and it's hidden behind the walls of the church. And these are abuses to the likes of which that most people have never seen before or heard of before, that many people would frankly be very appalled by. Okay, nevertheless, Sister SuEllen was a servant. She was also treated like a slave. Okay, she had to perform many duties, and trust me when I say that all the duties that she had to perform was not duties that were godly. Okay, nevertheless, we have surprise here. So Sister SuEllen was who was a servant unto God, was surprised, was shocked when she received this letter, these messages, this news, this information, this communication that came to her about a specific person from her past death. Okay? And the information that she was left some abundance from this person's death. She was actually shocked and surprised by this. Okay? But other people, other individuals within the church caught wind to this. Okay? And it set a ripple effect of what happened thereafter. Okay? So, what did I tell y'all? She received a message about what? Great fortune. We ain't talking about no chump change here. We ain't talking about a couple $100, couple $1,000. She was getting a large lump sum of money that was left to her as a gift. By who? Who is the deceased? Who is the death of this person here? We have family room here. This was a family member to her once upon a time. What kind of family member? What leads me to believe that this was a family member that she was once in a relationship with is because of the fact I got courtship here. Okay, so this could be someone who she dated, well in her past, or who she was once married to well before she became a nun, or what have you. This is the reason why she was so surprised that she would get news of any, this information when this person passed. Like, because this could have been 20, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, when they were together, when they were married. Okay, they who knows about their relationship? Their relationship may have ended on bad terms or something. I'm not saying for sure that that's what it is, but she was definitely shocked and surprised when this person passed away and had left her something. Okay, so she was shocked that at the death of this person, and she was shocked that this person hadn't left her something. But this was great fortune that this once family member, and for this person to be considered a family member, this has to be, and sitting here next to courtship, this has to be someone that she was once married to, because that's the only thing that would make them technically family. Okay, we have privileged lady here. The amount of money that she was going to receive would have made her a privileged lady. She would have been wealthy. This is great fortune. Okay? I mean, this is well more than, even if you got $10,000-$20,000, that's not an amount of money. That's a lot of money, especially when you don't have anything, but that's not an amount of money where you can say, oh, I can retire and never work again in day form, in my life. I can just live off this for the rest of my life. That's not an amount of money that you could do so. Whatever amount of money, this was great fortune that she was left. she would have become a privileged lady, very wealthy. This is the reason why the enemy set her up to take this money from her. To take the money from this mature woman, this elderly nun. Not only was she an elder, she was a nun. She had grew up in poverty. She never had nothing she didn't have to work her behind off of. And in the end, she gave it all to God and sacrificed herself to be married to the Almighty Most High, God. But baby, she was coming up out of that poverty because she back get sudden wealth. Anytime fortune and wealth come up, we're not talking about chump change, y'all. This woman hadn't been in poverty all her life. She ain't never knew nothing but hard work. She never had nothing she didn't have to work her behind off of. And even what she worked for, it wasn't enough to make her wealthy. This woman was coming to sudden wealth. This is why she was abducted at gunpoint. This is why she was killed. For her money. And she was set up by the priest, the enemy, who's chained to the devil. This devil worshiper sellout here. The priest right in the church, bearing the cloth of the Lord. I'm going to pull one more deck for y'all that don't understand. And then we're going to get into the spirit reading. So I can clarify, because I went through all these decks. And then I have to make sure that I know what I know and go and ask my spirit guides, is this what I'm really seeing? Is this what is really happening? And get direct answers just to make sure I'm not tripping. Because see, this is not about my feelings, my emotions. I don't know these people from Adam. I have absolutely no reason to make up anything, lie on anybody. Just come on here and give you some fascinating story. No reason at all. I don't have time for that. I got to cook, I got to clean, I got to teach my child. I got a lot of things to do. You understand me? I don't have time to come on here and sugarcoat shit for y'all. Lie to y'all. Just tell y'all a bunch of hogwash or blow smoke up y'all behind. I don't have time for that. And in the midst of that, I am a whole target out here. Okay? I'm under attack every day. I don't have time for that. So when I use my power, my skill, my ability, my gift, I'm led by spirit. If I speak, it's worth being heard. Otherwise, I keep it to myself. So let's get it. First of all, I want y'all to look at the bottom of this deck. The bottom of this deck is so stupid. I literally don't even have to pull the cards. This deck right here is so stupid, and really this deck, I felt kind of bad using this deck because this is a sexual, it's a tarot deck, but it's a sexual tarot deck. But it's good to use this sometimes because it opens your eyes to other things that's going on. More often than not, readers use these type of decks when doing like a love reading or something that, you know, to give you visual imagery of what other things could be going on here. But this opened my eyes to everything else besides this situation that was going on. But check this out. Bottom of the deck, you got the Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups talks about emotional fulfillment here. Okay? Now, the Ace of Cups is extreme feelings and overwhelming emotions. It does not matter what those extreme feelings are, what those overwhelming emotions are, but it is extreme. So if you are happy, you are extremely happy. If you are sad, you are extremely sad. If you are angry, you are extremely mad. It's extreme feeling and overwhelming emotions. And to determine what exact feeling it is, you have to look to the cards that is next to it. So, the Ace of Cups here speaks to extreme feelings and overwhelming emotions, y'all. Okay? Now we need to know who has these extreme feelings and overwhelming emotions, because if it's Sister SuEllen, her feelings and emotions being abducted at gunpoint would be heartache, sadness, whatever. But we got the Nine of Cups here. Now, every reader knows that the Nine of Cups talks about hopes, wishes, and dreams coming true. So who in the hell? So when you look back at the Ace of Cups, so if a person is having emotional fulfillment and then feeling extreme feelings and overwhelming emotions while it's sitting next to the Nine of Cups, which talks about hopes, wishes, and dreams come true, this has got to be the feelings of the individuals who set Sister SuEllen up in the first place. This is their feelings. The bottom of this deck here. They felt extreme feelings and overwhelming emotions. They felt like this was a wish or a dream come true for them. Why? Five of Swords. By causing conflict? With Sister SuEllen, this fulfilled their desire. Gave them emotional fulfillment. The Five of Swords talks about conflict, arguments, disagreements, fighting, strife. It's what the Five of Swords talks about. So this lets you know the tension that was going on in behind the situation. Just because Sister SuEllen even received these messages that she had a loved one that passed away from her past, that had left her a gift here. And we know it was marriage because we got the Four of Wands here, or family. Because the Four of Wands speaks to a marriage, or it speaks to family. Okay? This conflict, somebody was extremely angry with her. Caused this conflict with her because the audacity for something to come to the church for you from someone of your past, like your family or your ex-husband, who have left you a fortune, huh? That's the reason why with the world here, they brought her damn life to an end. Jealousy, envy, hatred, evil, wicked narcissism, greed, sacrifice is why they took out Sister SuEllen. Why? Didn't I tell you? Six coins that came out again because of a gift, an inheritance that was left for Sister SuEllen. Those in charge at the church want to take this from her. But in order for them to have their wish fulfillment to come about, they had to cause heartache and pain to Sister SuEllen to take this from her. This is the reason why the Three of Swords is here. Now ask yourself, how in the world? Now the Six of Coins talks about giving and receiving. How does somebody give you something, but it causes you heartache and pain? Yet the people that's doing this to you is feeling emotional fulfillment and wish come true. What? Huh? What was this conflict about here? Because that's what the Five of Swords talk about. What was this conflict about, Tiffany? I'm going to tell you again. I said it was about a large lump sum of money. Y'all don't get it yet? You don't understand yet? How many decks do I need to pull out for you? It was about this money. Seven Cups sits here by the Four of Wands. Now the Seven of Cups talks about options. It talks about multiple things being done, being decided, one having multiple choices, multiple options. They sat in contemplation as to what they wanted to do about this. situation in an effort to get this money from Sister SuEllen. But I told you, we know that this situation brought about an end here because the world is here. The world talks about endings and completions. The world talks about something going full cycle, something coming to an end for something new to begin here. And this is what this decision was made about. Now, that's why I like this deck here. Because even though there's sexual graphics on here, which I'm going to get into in the spirit reading, I want you to see something. The decision that they made, they decided, they got clear vision and made a decision. I told you they sat in contemplation about the choices that they could make, the decisions that they could make, what they wanted to do about this situation. And they finally got clear vision and decided to make a decision, and it was to bring her life to an end. But I want you to look at these 7 of Wands. They caused this woman so much endurance. You see how that man now got his hand over her mouth, and he telling her to shh. Be quiet. The 7 of Wands talks about endurance. Okay? What is one going through when they endure something? Struggles, burdens, problematic situations. All types of things. This is what she was going through a lot. She was enduring a lot of abuses. Why? Because of this decision. There go the 2 of Swords right there. She endured a lot because of this decision that was made to take her out. For what? How many times I got to tell you it's about the money? 10 of coins. Right here. Look at this. Why? Because Sister SuEllen is a high priestess. Don't you see that nun cape over her head here? She's a high priestess. This talks about secret information, secret knowledge, hidden knowledge, occultic knowledge. See, besides the situation about this money, you see there was other things that was going on behind the scenes leading up to this. This just happened to come in at the nick of time, at the perfect opportunity, because you see, Sister SuEllen is a high priestess. She's seen too much. She knew too much about what was going on in the church. But when this situation here came along, this set up the perfect opportunity for them to take her out. 6 of Wands. The 6 of Wands talks about public recognition. It also speaks to success, triumph, and victory. But what the 6 of Wands is telling us in this situation is that it was publicly recognized, or publicly known, that a gift of inheritance was left to Sister SuEllen. Okay? But as a result of this, but see, Sister SuEllen with the 8 of Swords here, she was stuck. She was restricted. She was unable to move. She was unable to leave. She was stuck in a convent, at the church. They imprisoned her. They abused her. They used her. She couldn't get away. They held her there, hostage there. But this wheel of fortune had been turned in her favor. This wheel was turning here. So they knew that they had to create some type of conflict. Well, really the conflict came because this abundance had came to her. Because this wheel had been turned in her favor. Because see, before I told you, she come from poverty. She had nothing. At one point in time, she practically depended upon the church. 8 of Coins. This is the reason why she was working in the church. This wheel was turning in her favor, and this abundance was coming in for her. And this, in a way, was going to free her. Where she could live out the rest of her days peacefully if she wanted to. With the Six of Cups, this talks about reflecting on the past. This talks about reflecting on the past here. She was just as surprised that this came along. But this was going to free her from the bondage, from the slave bondage and ties and abuse that she was facing behind the scenes, behind closed doors of the church that nobody else seen. And this is the reason why she was set up. This person that passed away was Aquarius, Libra, or Gemini here. And it was, like I said, it was public knowledge. It was public information that this was left to her here. Okay? But like I said, she was stuck. She was restricted, unable to move. She was being held hostage in her convent at that church here. And she was in mental conflict here. Sad, depressed, couldn't eat, couldn't sleep, couldn't think. Anxious, being haunted and taunted here. But because this wheel of fortune had turned in her favor, the people who were working against her, once again, look at this card. Do you see how he's abusing her? You see how he's holding her face? Just like the other card that I showed y'all. Where is that? This woman was being abused. Look how he holding her mouth and telling her, shh, be quiet on here. Look how he got a weapon to her face. Holding her face, holding her mouth in here. She was being abused, y'all. The Eight of Cups speaks to change, though. A major shift, a major change came about when this money came in for her. When the knowledge, the clarity of this money came in for her. Because this is her, the Queen of Wands here. She wouldn't have to suffer the abuses that she was behind the scenes. And yeah, you're seeing this card right. Because when I speak to abusives, it's more than just physically, mentally, emotionally. It's sexually too. This, in a way, was going to free her. But there was burdens that was put on her on purpose. Hardships, problematic situations. She had to endure a whole lot. And this is why they decided to traffic her. Why they decided to abduct her and traffic her. And this is and that being done is what caused great sadness and loss to her and her life. Yeah. The hangman here, she could have been hanged. Ultimately, how she was killed or strangled to death. Okay? But the fact of the matter is that she was murdered in an effort for these individuals with a lying, cheating, stealing ass to take what was rightfully hers. To take this abundance and leave her out in the cold. Abandon her. Leave her with nothing. Yeah. They abandoned her and left her with nothing. So let me get into the other part of the reading, guys. Because this was ultimate betrayal that Sister SuEllen endured. This was ultimate betrayal that she endured. And she also had secret knowledge and secret information to what was going on behind the scenes in the church that she wanted to move to calmer waters away from. This was almost like a blessing from God coming in for her. This abundance that she could have got out. Do you see all this sneaky, freaky, creepy shit? Can you see that? You see folks in costumes and dressed up weirdly and masks and all kinds of shit. It's all kinds of sneaky, freaky, creepy shit, y'all, that goes on behind the scenes. In these convents, covens, cults, all kinds. Look at this here. That's none other than the priest in his robes. And don't you see the nun there? I know you see it clearly. This is the priest and this is the nun. And do you see how he's got her on her knees servicing him? You see the crosses and different things on his robe here that he has on. These nuns are abused. This is the Hierophant in this day. Ask yourself why the Hierophant look like that. I told you who a Hierophant is. In this deck, it literally shows this priest like he's sitting on some type of throne of his, and he has this nun here on her knees servicing him. Yeah. And look at the other cards here. You got the Fool. He foolishly took a blind leap of faith to take out this nun for the money, which gave him the motivation and the determination to do what he did to her. This is how he treated her. Spirit say this truth, that this is clarity. This woman, look at that. Behind the Ace of Swords, you got the Two of Cups here. This truth, this clarity came out about this partnership she had. Either she did not tell the convent that she was once married before or something, and somebody was pissed off about that. But it don't matter what they tried to, what this priest called himself being mad about here. The ultimate thing is they wanted to steal what was rightfully hers, and they got rid of her for it. And it caused her death. I can't even make it up. Can't make it up. And for those of you, real quick, who are inclined to feel some type of way about what I'm telling you, I didn't illustrate these cards. It's right here in the cards. Even the High Priestess in this deck shows you a nun. But do you see both the black and the white gentleman behind her? This one got his dick in his hand. And this one over here is doing something very sinister as well. And you see her sitting here on this naked, being used, abused in multiple different ways, sitting on this book of secrets here. The High Priestess talks about one who holds secret knowledge, secret information. One who is highly intuitive, whose third eye is open. Who have occultic knowledge. Hidden secret knowledge. Okay? Do you see the men behind her? This is a nun that's sitting here. Okay? For those of you who feel some type of way about the high priest, or excuse me, the Hierophant, look at it closely. This is a priest, and that is a nun on her knees servicing him, clearly showing you what goes on behind the scenes of the church. And it's not even just that. These people lie to you, and you assume based off of what they say, what they tell you, that they righteous and they holy, that they saved, sanctified, and delivered. You have no idea. The church sold out to the satanic powers that be a long time ago. and is too coward to stand before the people and tell you that they worship Lucifer as their God. They are, in fact, devil worshippers, and they know it. And this is exactly the reason why nothing is said or done about the industry making a mockery of Christianity on any level. You know why? Because the people in the know, in the industry, in the government, in power, they know the secret hidden knowledge. They know that these churches are sold out. The only reason why churches still exist to this day is to continue to delude and brainwash those of you who still want to be confined within religion. But if you notice, religion is still ran like a cult and is used to control your life, your mind, your body, everything, every aspect of your life. Those of you who are of the world, they have measures in place in the world to control you, whether it's through entertainment, whether it's through sport, no matter what you into, no matter what you believe in. They have individuals in every era or genre in which you were in and or a part of. Okay? So guys, let me get into this spirit reading. So I asked, guys, my spirit guys, has Sister SuEllen Tennyson, I think it's Tennyson, yeah, Tennyson, been murdered? My spirit guide says yes. I asked, was Sister SuEllen abducted, or was Sister SuEllen's abduction a planned setup? My spirit guide says yes. I asked my spirit guides, did Sister SuEllen receive a message about a family member's death? My spirit guide says yes. I asked, did Sister SuEllen get communication about an inheritance? My spirit guide says yes. I asked my spirit guides, was the priest of the Catholic Church involved in Sister SuEllen's disappearance and abduction? My spirit guide says yes. I asked my spirit guides, was Sister SuEllen abducted to steal her money? My spirit guide says yes. I asked my spirit guides, was Sister SuEllen a blood sacrifice by or for the Catholic Church that she belonged? My spirit guide says yes. I asked my spirit guides, was Sister SuEllen's captors hired and or paid by someone to take her? My spirit guide says yes. I asked my spirit guides, was Sister SuEllen trafficked to another country? My spirit guide says no. I asked my spirit guides, was Sister SuEllen's body buried or disposed of in water? I got a no on buried, and I got a yes on disposed of in water. I asked my spirit guides, are there any fellow nuns that are aware of what really happened to Sister SuEllen? My spirit guide says no. I asked my spirit guides, was Sister SuEllen held hostage before she was murdered? My spirit guide says yes. I asked my spirit guides, did a Catholic priest order, set up, or arrange the abduction of Sister SuEllen? My spirit guide says yes. I asked my spirit guides, did the Marine of Holy Cross Church receive compensation or money for Sister SuEllen after her abduction and disappearance? My spirit guide says yes. I asked my spirit guides, was Sister SuEllen being abused at her church before she was abducted at gunpoint? My spirit guide says yes. I asked my spirit guides, was there a purposeful cover-up in the abduction of Sister SuEllen? My spirit guide says yes. I asked my spirit guides, was Sister SuEllen murdered within a week of her abduction? My spirit guide says yes. I asked my spirit guides, is Sister SuEllen Did Sister SuEllen witness illegal criminal activity at her church before she was abducted? My spirit guide says yes. I asked my spirit guides if Sister SuEllen witnessed sex crimes at her church before her abduction. My spirit guide says yes. I asked my spirit guides if nuns were being sexually abused at the Catholic Church. My spirit guide says yes. I asked my spirit guides if the priest received money after the abduction of Sister SuEllen. My spirit guide says yes. I asked my spirit guides if the nuns at Sister SuEllen's church were used as sex slaves. My spirit guide says yes. So the nuns at the Catholic churches are used as sex slaves. I asked my spirit guides if the Marine of Holy Cross Church were involved in child abuse. My spirit guide says yes. I asked my spirit guides if Sister SuEllen witnessed the child abuse. My spirit guide says yes. So there were a multitude of criminal activity that Sister SuEllen witnessed at the Catholic Church that she belonged. So she was aware of a lot of secret hidden knowledge. Okay, so which was another reason why her having all this money, having all this abundance, being able to freely leave and depart from the convents and and all of this or whatever, they wanted to strip from her to keep her stuck unrestricted. Okay, but they knew that they had to eliminate her in an effort to take what was rightfully hers. Okay, but so they basically eliminated her for more than one reason. It just so happened that this situation came along pertaining to a death of a family member and the money that I almost feel like that something was in preparation before that even took place. Just because I feel like Sister SuEllen must have gotten to the point where she was resistant to what was going on, to what was being done, to the criminal activity that she was seeing, to the secret knowledge that she knew. And if somebody wanted to get rid of her, eliminate her, shut her up, or prevent her from speaking altogether or something, okay? My spirit guides tell me that Sister SuEllen's body was disposed of in the ocean. I asked my spirit guides, was Sister SuEllen's family involved in her abduction? My spirit guides tell me no. I asked my spirit guides, did the family of Sister SuEllen Tennyson work in conjunction with the Catholic Church to abduct and sacrifice the sister? My spirit guide says no. I asked my spirit guides if Sister SuEllen abductors were trained assassins, and my spirit guides says yes. Okay, so I asked that question, if they were trained assassins. Like when it comes to spies and assassins and things like that, in hitmen and things like that, if they're trained, then you know that they're getting paid by a higher echelons of people. This enables you to know right away that they are being given their orders as well as their payment by people higher in power, people who are wealthy, prominent individuals with prominent positions, titles, and roles. Okay, who have more leverage when it comes to secrecy and different things. And I ask that on purpose because when it comes to, like, you know what I'm saying, when like unintelligent, uneducated criminals do things, it's in a rush, it's in a haste. 9 times out of 10 there's a mistake that's made, there's evidence that's left behind, DNA, something, or a trail that leads to the, you know what I'm saying, because frankly, dumb criminals make mistakes when they commit crimes, okay? when you have trained individuals who commit crimes, okay, 9 times out of 10 they have been trained by individuals higher up in power who possibly has some type of government training, militarized training, or whatever vigorous type of training that they go through. But the mere fact that they have training, they have structure and order and precise measures in how they do things, even when it comes to kidnappings and killings and things like that, or whatever. You understand what I'm saying? Which quite often is how you can determine if something was a professional hit, okay, or if something was a professional crime. Because anytime that there's some type of crime or something that takes place, and there's like no evidence, no clues, no suspects, no leads, 9 times out of 10 it was organized. 9 times out of 10 the orders came from somebody higher up, okay, somebody in power, somebody with money, okay. And look, let me tell you something. You got stone cold gangsters out here, career criminals out here, who do not kill children, do not kill women, and definitely wouldn't run up on a senior citizen as none. Excuse my language, Sister SuEllen. A senior citizen, none. In broad daylight. And take her at gunpoint. For what? Just think about that for a minute. This is what gives you the telltale clue that someone else with another motive would be behind. Because just ask yourself. Just think of random suspects. Would a drug dealer have the motive to just grab a senior citizen nun? Do a senior citizen nun look like she's rich or have a lot of money on her? I don't even know if there's any pockets on the you know what I'm saying? The attire that they wear. Okay? Ask yourself, would some random homeless person on the street, some drugged up, crazed person on the street, have the motive to just all of a sudden grab a nun? No. You know why? Because even in the possibility that any one of those people were to attack her, they would have attacked her right on the street and killed her, left her for dead right there. They would not have abducted her at gunpoint, which means the people who took her had a specific reason for taking her, which means they wanted her to be alive. They wanted to take her, but they wanted to keep her alive for a specific amount of time till they got what they wanted. You understand what I'm saying? And if there was no ransom made, then it also lets you know that she specifically had access to something that they could only obtain through use of her. You understand what I'm saying? So you have to think about all these things when getting in the mind of a criminal and different things like that, okay? Even if you want to say some drunk on the street or some drug addict, even if, they lost their freaking mind and decided, you know what? This old lady nun looks vulnerable. I'm going to attack her. They would have just attacked her on the street and left her there. They either liable would not have had the weapon, the transportation, the means, or the effort to abduct her. Do you see what I'm saying? You have to think in the terms of a specific criminal. Gang members. Most gang members have no reasoning for abducting someone. And the times that gang members have been known to take someone, it's usually if there's some type of gang related feud or some type of drug related feud or money related feud. There's been plenty of times that somebody come up missing, but their bodies may be found in a trunk or something like that, and they'd have been bound and gagged and murdered to death or burnt up or something like that. How gangs used to do back in the day or whatever. But it's usually for a purpose, okay? Now, when you talk about gang members who are into, say, pimping, they would not have a use for a senior citizen nun. They couldn't pimp out a senior citizen nun like that. So what use would they have for her? They wouldn't see a senior citizen nun and say, oh my gosh, she know where the drugs at. She know where all the money at. You have to ask yourself what would be the motive in behind certain particular kinds of people to do a crime like this. It is matter of fact. We know she was taken at gunpoint. Why? Who would do this to a senior citizen and a nun? It does not make sense. It has organized crime written all over it, is what I'm telling you, okay? And considering the fact that she was a nun, that organized crime is going to lead back to the church, and it's going to lead back to the church's superiors and their connections with other people higher up in power, wealthy, prominent people in power, is all I'm saying. And all the information that I've given you here has literally broke that down. And I ain't got no reason to lie. Allegedly. Nevertheless, guys, I thank y'all for listening. I thank y'all for watching. If you would be so kind to please like, share, and subscribe, it would be greatly, greatly appreciated. For those of you who would like to contact me, you can do so at tiffanyziegler60@gmail.com or at tiff.diamond.36@gmail.com. You can follow me on Instagram at shinebrightlikeadiamond36. And if you feel interested in donating to the channel, it is greatly appreciated. I do thank you in advance. You can do so through Cash App, which is $tiffdiamond36, or through PayPal, which is paypal.me/@36diamond. As always, guys, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, but most of all, take care of your babies. Remember, this is a wicked, wicked world that we live in. There's wickedness in high places, and there's evil that is lurking around each and every corner, even in a neighborhood near you. So y'all watch your surroundings. Watch the company you keep. Watch the surroundings and the company in which your children are in as well. And considering the fact that you never know when someone may betray you, backstab you, try to hurt you, or harm you, honey. Keep you some protection on you. Y'all stay awake, stay aware, stay vigilant, and stay prepared, because if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready, baby. Until the next time, peace, love, and light. Namaste. I am that I am, created in the image of God. Real quick, guys, the crystal message for today is obsidian, okay? So obsidian is a black crystal here. This is useful in scrying, and it also allows us to find our shadow self and confront it, okay? It's good for grounding and comforting to anxious pets as well, okay? So if you have overly anxious and excited pets, it's good to have this. It's good to help you with grounding. It's also good for you if you suffer from anxiety or anything like that as well, okay? So I hope this helps you all, okay? If you need help, or if you want to know your shadow self, you need help grounding or taming that anxious energy within you, I would suggest you get you an obsidian crystal. Okay, guys? So till next time, guys, peace, love, and light. Namaste. I am that I am, created in the image of God.